Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of Solo Leveling Season 2 Arise from the Shadow on episode 11 or episode 23 of the total number of episodes of Solo Leveling. This episode right here was nicely action-packed, and man, that moment right there was just crazy. There's kind of a few differences that I'll talk about later when I get to that moment. If anything else, let's just get this started. We get to see that our S rank hunters of Korea are like fighting for their lives. Well, not really fighting for their lives, but fighting an army of ants and eventually found the lair or the chamber of the Ant Queen. As for the other hunters of Japan, unfortunately they are in a situation where they're losing their hunters, sadly. But what's even worse right now is that we will get to that moment very soon. We get to see our Korea S-rank hunters fighting against the Ant Queen and her armies or bodyguards. Unfortunately for the Ant Queen, their bodyguards stood no chance against them due to the fact that, sometimes when S-rank hunters work together and they cooperate, they become a very powerful force. That much is to be said. And eventually, as time continues on in this episode, they eventually managed to destroy the leader, which was their main goal. So knowing that knowing that the queen is out of commission, they will die within a year. And it's kind of sad if you even think about it. Well, it all depends on your point of view. Like I said, when I saw the Ant Queen last episode, she really just wants her children and she only wants to thrive. But because of her ants killing hostility, especially towards the humans, there was no way they can coexist. That is the sad part of it. So, however, what the hunters of Korea, S ranks to be exact, to remind you, they do not consider about one ant who apparently shows up eventually. What's even crazy is that all the ants are moving back to the nest to go protect their queen or help their queen. However, let's also not forget in this episode that before the Ant Queen died, she made a cry of help, or a death cry, which apparently is saying, help me, but it's too late. What's even crazy and worse right now is that the one ant who's been killing the S-rank hunters of Japan left and right shows up and ends up having a threatening smell or aura that caused everyone to be shocked about him. And he ends up going to the corpse of his mother and ends up munching or eating it. And ends up screaming in total anger and rage. And that freaking song that was played during Jinwoo's moment in last season when he has to kill the hunters, no choice, is being played here for the Ant King himself. I'm just going to call him the king because he literally shows that he is a king. Okay, like I said, that Arya Rise or Dark Arya song that was being played in this moment for the Ant King, he shows up after eating the corpse of his mother a bit. He ends up freaking knocking Chahe aside, and he easily freaking beats down every other S-rank hunter he sees in front of him. He is showing absolutely no mercy. He even freaking grabbed one of the tallest, biggest S-rank hunters of Korea and slams them back and forth like the Hulk. Like, I'm serious. I was like, dude, that moment is forever gonna be a trivia or an Easter egg to the Hulk's rampage against Loki. I'm just gonna say that, okay? Just like how Superman did in Darkseid in the Justice League Dark, and now Ant King is doing it here with only one arm like the Hulk. He's like, bruh, stand aside, and he just ragdolled him like bam, 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 bam. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Not only that, the Ant King ends up killing the healer, the S-rank healer who didn't want to go but ends up going anyway. He ends up consuming his head and ends up grabbing the neck of our S-rank hunter. That's the transformation lion guy, Baek Yoon-hin. He ends up managing to talk, surprisingly. He says, bruh, you killed our queen. Killing your soldiers will not make up for it. So I ask you, where is your king? Where the hell is your king? Therefore, we have to it that the Ant King decides to leave him there and goes after the one who is strong. And we get to see that the Japanese government or whatever the guy's name, he apparently had no likely thing to want to help out Korea, and he only used him to a point of as a tool. As for the other Japan hunters, they actually had a lot of casualties, which really sucked, but whatever. They end up having, some of them have to end up leaving, and Goto Ryuji tells one of his surviving members, who apparently is decapitated, who is not decapitated by the Ant King, to leave and let him handle him. Unfortunately for Goto Ryuji, I'm afraid he stood no chance against the Ant King. He says, whoa, this aura seems very familiar. Like, what's his magic power? It's like I encountered something like this before. Unfortunately, it's too late, I believe, and his sword cracks and looks like it's about to break. The ending of the episode shows the rest of the Korean S-rank hunters being in a very tight situation, with one of the healers dead and their ultimate weapon of humanity is already on the verge of collapsing because he got injured by the Ant King. But before they're about to get overwhelmed and eaten alive agonizingly, we get to see a couple shadow soldiers beneath them show up and block their rampage. We get to see Jinwoo getting ready to go into action, and he says exchange, and the episode ends off there. And preview of next episode, if I could remember correctly, it says, "Are you the king of humans?" And that's it. So, yeah, this episode really shows the power of the Ant King. And I mean the power of the Ant King. The way how he freaking, showed his power a little bit last episode and shows it in this episode why he's called the king. He's not your ordinary ant soldier, and the queen made him to protect the colony and her. Unfortunately, the Ant King did not show up on time while he went to go on a rampage to kill the other S-rank hunters. So, of Japan, that is. So, when he came in this episode, and like I said, and repeating myself, I apologize. When that song played, like that time when Jinwoo had to kill the hunters, we all knew that was going to be hell. It was deadly hell. We get to see that the Ant King effortlessly beat the living hell out of all the Korean S-rank hunters, no problem. Even the magic and long range attackers stood no chance, because they're only meant for magic. They're never meant for melee, which is really sad. Even the close combat ones stood no chance. And like I said, when the Ant King freaking ragdolled their giant, biggest S-rank hunter of Korea, that, like I said, that was an Easter egg or a tribute or so to the Hulk's beaten down like Loki in the Avengers. And he killed the S-rank hunter no problem, because that guy's only meant for healing. He was never meant for combat, which shows that he's the weakest one, which is really sad considering that, yeah, by that time he ends up having to bite the head or eat the head of the healer, and he managed to talk. He even says the words of the fallen comrade Bungyo, and the Ant King talked, saying, "Hey man, you killed my mother, and killing all you guys here is not going to make up for it. So where the hell is your king?" And therefore he sent to someone very strong outside, and he finds Goto Ryuji. Unfortunately for Goto Ryuji, I think we all know what happened to him eventually. I mean, not going to be very sugarcoating that, considering that he felt the same aura as Jinwoo. And Jinwoo is getting ready to go into action, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be conflicted about this. Even I felt a little conflicted about it, but we have to understand too. I mean, Jinwoo, I'm pretty sure he would have gone to the raid and would do so without hesitation. However, there's one problem. He wants to take care of his mother. There's no problem with that. We have to understand that, even though it's a little conflicting with him to join the attack now, considering that the S-rank hunters have already done a lot of damage and going to be questioning a lot of things. But, it is what it is. So, anyways, I'm looking forward to the next episode. And from what I understand and what I hear, it's supposed to be a 2-episode finale. So, by that time, once it's a 2-episode finale. So, by that time, it should be the final
final stretch for season 2. And I look forward to it. I mean, I don't know if it's really a 2-episode finale. It's only the rumors of what I saw in social media that was formerly Twitter. That's all. And many others. So we'll see how it goes. If it's true or not, that's fine. It makes things easier and I'll be more excited. And so until then, I'll see you guys later. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-ta-da!